Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews. I'm Braden, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite movies of 2020. People say this is the worst year for movies ever, and I gotta agree, this was a pretty horrible year for movies. I only saw 10 movies originally this year, and a ton of them were not really good or well made or anything. I just didn't like them. But after time to reflect and dig through and be like, oh yeah, that came out this year, I figured out that this year wasn't as bad as a bunch of people said. So we're going to be doing my top 5 favorite movies of the year this year. Welcome everybody to Max Reviews. I'm Braden, and coming in 5th place here is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog. Now Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the movies here that I actually did see in 2020, and I really enjoy it. It's a fun movie. It's a great return for Jim Carrey. You have James Marsden here. You have them updating the Sonic design, as a whole bunch of people really hated the Sonic design in the original trailer, and then they updated it. They made everything look great, and so I have a ton of fun with this movie. I know a whole bunch of people enjoy it. They don't really think of it as one of the best movies of the year, but for me, it makes it there because I just enjoy watching it. It's a fun movie. The action's cool. The animation is interesting with Sonic, how it looks. I like just the fun nature of it, and I think they really captured Sonic well as a character. But overall, this is still pretty solid, like 8 out of 10. It's not an amazing movie, so I enjoy it. I know a bunch of people do. I would call it probably my favorite video game movie of all time, and we're getting a sequel to it just this month. It came out, so yeah, I just enjoy this movie. It's really nice. Coming in 4th place here, we have Seoul, a movie that really, it felt like the sort of movie that we needed at the end of 2020, as so many people had lost people that they knew, friends, family, and just this movie exploring what happens there, the meaning of life, just what happens. It's a really emotional movie. The animation here is the big thing for me. It just blew my mind how amazing the animation was, with just how they do it in the real world and then in like the spirit world. It's really well done. I think there's some fun scenes in here. There's some fun stuff, but I don't really consider this a kids movie. And another big win for Pixar. Originally, I liked Onward a lot more than Soul, but on reflection, Onward doesn't even make it on this list. Soul makes it. I really enjoy Soul, and just the character development. It's such an interesting concept and idea that they do here, and the animation. Why it's not higher, I could see why a ton of people would put it a bit higher. The emotional stuff didn't hit me as hard as it did a whole bunch of people, but I could really understand if you really enjoy this and have this as number 1. But still, a very solid Pixar movie for me. Before we get into our top 3, I just wanted to say there is honorable mention here would be Clouds from this year. This was one of my favorite movies originally, and then I checked out other stuff and it didn't get as high. But Clouds, one of the best Disney Plus original movies that I've seen. I still enjoy it enough. It's good, but it's one of those movies that you don't really rewatch too much. And then also a movie that I didn't get to check out, but I've heard quite a few good things about, The Invisible Man. So I haven't seen this. I don't know if it would make this list or not, but a little to mention that. And so coming in 3rd place here is going to be Love and Monsters. This is a really underrated movie that I've heard almost nobody talk about, but it is a just very solid movie from this year. And it's about love and monsters. You get this sort of romance inside this post-apocalyptic world. You get this really cool action, these really cool monsters. You get just the boy and his dog just hanging out, and that's really well done how they do that. And I love the emotion here. The cast is great. You got the guy that plays Yondu. You get the girl that played the little girl Gamora in Avengers Age of Ultron. You also get Dylan O'Brien here. So just cast is really good. I like the animation on the monsters. This movie went under the radar in 2020, but I did check it out. And originally it was my favorite movie, but then on reflection and after checking out a few other movies, it came to 3rd place. But this is still a pretty solid 9 out of 10 movie. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's a fun time while also being emotional, and I like the ending. It has a different ending than you expect. The action here is good. Also, I gotta say, some of the stuff that they do, and just a really solid movie that I would recommend. You don't think about it. It's a really underrated movie, but it's really good. 2nd place here is the one movie that I decided to check out in anticipation for this list, and that is Palm Springs. This is a time loop romance movie. I love time loop movies. As you've seen it in some of my previous lists, we had Happy Death Day to You, which combined horror and time loop. You also have the original one, which is Groundhog Day, just regular time loop. You have Boss Level, which was time loop and action. Now you get time loop and romance. And I just love all these time loop movies. I don't think I've really seen a time loop movie where I'm just like, okay, that was bad, I hated that. No. Or even like a 7 out of 10 time loop movie. All of them are 8 out of 10 or more, and this is no exception. I absolutely love it. The performances here are great. The characters are fun, and you get this guy who's been in the time loop for a very long time, and then this girl gets stuck in the time loop with him, and you get to see it from somebody else's perspective. And just this romance that goes throughout. It's sort of obvious what's going to happen in the end, but I like it. A few other positive things here. You have J.K. Simmons in here, which J.K. Simmons is such a great actor, and it's great to see him and everything, and no exception here. He's amazing. I love him in this movie. Such a good job at what he was going for. You also have this guy that plays Superman in Superman and Lois, and he's in this movie playing like the worst person in the world. He has sex with the main character girl who gets stuck in the time loop the day before his wedding, where he's marrying her sister. And he's such a horrible character, but you still sort of feel for him in the end, because he sort of does make up for you just realizing what he's done, but still, as you see this character who plays legitimately Superman in one show, and then you get to see him in this movie where he's the worst. I just love it when you have these like serious actors or actresses, and then they play a goofy role or something where they're the worst character, and it's just such a funny thing for me. It makes the character even more fun. But coming in first place here, big surprise, is going to be Birds of Prey, which I sort of forgot about and didn't really consider my favorite movie of the year until I actually went back and thought, I'm like, hey, Birds of Prey came out in 2020. And I actually really enjoyed Birds of Prey. It's a 9 out of 10, yes. Is it good? Yes. Is it great? Yes. Do I love it? Pretty much. Margot Robbie does a great job as Harley Quinn in this movie. She just captures Harley Quinn so well. So much better than in Suicide Squad. But I really enjoy this movie. The action is... The guys that did John Wick movies came in and did the action for this movie. And the action, great. The color scheme is really interesting. They do some really fun things with Harleys and telling you the story. So there's so many fun things that you could do with this. I love the color here. That just the look, the feel, the vibe of the entire movie. More positives here. You have Ewan McGregor as the villain Black Mask, which that is such a fun thing because he's such a fun character, because he could be emotional and also creepy at the same time. I have a ton of fun with this movie. I know this movie isn't exactly for everyone, where you could watch, everybody could basically watch Palm Springs and have a fun time with it. I think everybody could really enjoy Love and Monsters, and everybody could sort of have a fun enough time with Sonic the Hedgehog. It depends for you. But for me, Birds of Prey is a bit more, you either love it or you hate it, or it's just fine for you. You don't really... There isn't exactly everybody's going to love this movie, but for me, I really enjoy this movie. So it comes in number 1 for me. Leave your list down below, your thoughts on this, and 2020, just pretty horrible year for everybody, but we did get some pretty good movies, so leave your top 5 down below, and if you can't do that, just leave top 3. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. I just hit 70 subscribers, so thank you everybody, up to 70, such a great day. So thank you everybody for that. I'm Braden, this is Max Reviews. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Leave your comments down below. Braden out.